Hi, Ulaku. Kuyanami, Tungas Togama, Amaltakwa, Tungas Siji, Katimati, what in the Tan Atohatakanung, Atohatakanung over what Hatakundakinik, Pimaru Moku Taktimuno. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, and thank you for the invitation for the ICC to be part of this event. Our renewable resource is a very important concept, principle, and stand for Inuit. And I think this is a good venue for this message. As Christopher said, I'm the chair of the Inuit Circle Polo Council. I represent 160,000 Inuit living in Canada, Greenland, Alaska, and Chukaka. And energy is on our minds. Minister Bennett kindly said that we were 30 years old, but ICC was actually established 40 years ago next year. There is great expectations of energy reserves of oil, natural gas, even methane in the Arctic, but this interest is dependent on the global price per barrel of oil, and at the moment the interest is low. This perhaps gives us a chance to reflect on the viability of energy efficiency and renewable energy technologies in the Arctic. Let's consider these options as we prepare for the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change 22nd Conference of the Parties next month, and collectively continue to move the planet to a low-carbon economy. Inuit want to be part of the climate change solution. We may not halt the melting of the Arctic sea ice or the Greenland ice cap, but we can do our part. Inuit have a long history of being energy efficient as we did not have much energy to waste. Minimal wood, whale or seal oil, and moss. We are in a new age now, where our communities are run on diesel, shipped to Arctic communities once a year. We are also in an age where technologies can and are providing alternatives to diesel through energy efficiency and renewable energy technologies successful in Arctic communities. To start, implementing energy efficiency, such as biomass boilers, furnace efficiency upgrades, insulation and weatherization, dual energy houses, cold climate heat pumps, and waste heat energy in Arctic communities can have incredible impacts on the living conditions and community well-being in the Arctic. Houses are warmer, healthier, more cost-efficient, which should put money into the pockets of healthier families. When communities apply energy efficiency measures to shared infrastructure, the community has or should have more money to invest in addressing health, education, and social issues, making communities stronger. The physical investment of energy efficiency technologies has the potential to develop social enterprises in communities, creating jobs, economic diversification, as well as the beneficial impact on the environment. So why are most Arctic communities still hooked on diesel? The Arctic is cold. The heating season in the north could span from September to June, 10 months. Energy costs are high, so there is a need to be even more creative and innovative about renewable energy opportunities in the Arctic. For many people in the Arctic, renewable energy access isn't just about reducing CO2 or climate change. It impacts our very living and impacts our livelihood. Black carbon emissions, like those from diesel electricity and home heating, are a public health risk. At the same time, the high cost of shipping or flying in diesel fuel has created energy migrants, people forced to leave their homes because they cannot afford to live there anymore. Developing renewable energy resources is directly tied to economic development in the north. Good paying jobs for local residents, keeping more money in the communities, and sending less out on the diesel barge and creating more sustainable, healthier communities. Arctic regions are at different stages of developing energy systems, and energy demand and supply responses and incentives vary. The opportunity is that lessons can be learned from individual experiences, providing insights for other jurisdictions and not just from the Arctic. The U.S. identified renewable energy as one of their three priorities during their chairmanship of the Arctic Council, which ends this spring in 2017. The focus of the U.S. chairmanship on renewable energy in the Arctic has added further momentum to other efforts already taking place in the sector. Canadian Inuit are exploring renewable energy sources and increasing energy efficiency in staged and economically sensible ways. The World Wildlife Fund Canada Arctic Program have committed to a renewable energy project which they will demonstrate that renewable energy integration in the Arctic is possible. They are investing in the research, identifying the challenges and the solutions in the communities. WWF held a successful renewable energy summit in Iqaluit last month, building on the many sustainable energy projects currently operational or under development in Arctic Canada. There's lots of examples right there that I won't get into because of time. While improving our energy security, creating social energy enterprises, and decreasing our environmental footprint, we must have foresight. We should be creating training programs, redefining education programs, redefining development programs now for the new wave of the green energy economy. We should be thinking of integrating creative renewable and energy efficiency business models that design, build, and maintain installations across the North. These energy-centered social enterprises should include those who are most vulnerable within our society, youth who are so-called unemployable, so they too can take part in the green energy economy. We are defined by what we do during the challenging times and how we address these to create opportunity. The Arctic is in a challenging time. Every Arctic nation needs a unified approach to a renewable energy policy. Everyone needs to buy in. We must learn from each other and continually build upon successes, whether through energy efficiency and renewable energy programs, governance mechanisms, or impacts and benefits agreements, to systematically create the conditions for thriving communities. One of the things that I often say at this time is that Inuit and indigenous communities deal with a lot of changing governments and changing bureaucrats. So priorities change all the time for the governments. Our priorities are always at our forefront. When ICC was created, it was health, environment, climate change, education, justice, and they're still our priorities. Our situation has not really changed in 40 years, and without critical resources and investments, they will be the same 40 years from now. Let us show that even in the Arctic, we can move forward towards a low-carbon economy and have healthier, more sustainable communities. Just to build on what I just said, given the minister's keynote, the EU Arctic policy, the US-Canada agreement that was signed a few months ago, the Paris Agreement, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Given all this stuff, you'd think things would change faster. You'd think things would change faster. We look forward to the day when we are a truly equitable partner in these and other agreements and their implementation of policy, agreements, strategies, programs, and projects. We need equitable funding. I look forward to the questions. questions.